still-blowing-smoke.org campaign that's been launched in California. And you may be asking yourself, why is the California Department of Public Health so against vaping when year after year more smokers are turning to e-cigs as a less harmful alternative to tobacco cigarettes? Isn't their number one priority preserving public health? Isn't that their job? Problem number one. The more money Big Tobacco makes, the more money California gets. In 1998, a deal was struck between the biggest big tobacco companies and 46 U.S. states called the Master Settlement Agreement, or MSA. This agreement said that these big tobacco companies would make yearly payments to the states in exchange for the states dropping lawsuits against them regarding smoking-related deaths and expenses. The amount of money Big Tobacco pays the states each year is directly dependent on how much they sell. Problem number two. The states spent that money before they got it. Most of the states wanted all that money up front, instead of waiting for payments from Big Tobacco each year. So they sold bonds to Wall Street based on the amount they calculated Big Tobacco would be paying them. But then something started happening. Americans started smoking less. Since 2000, on average, tobacco cigarette sales have dropped 3.4% per year. That sounds amazing, but not for the states like California. Remember those bonds they sold? They were counting on money from Big Tobacco, and since it's not coming, they can't pay back the bonds they sold, and either have to take money from other places or risk defaulting. New Jersey, Ohio, and Virginia have already announced they have to take money from their reserves due to insufficient funds from the tobacco money. And with the growing popularity of e-cigarettes, the smoking rate is declining even faster. California and New York are being affected the most because they have the highest populations and are owed the most money by Big Tobacco under this agreement. In 2013, cigarette shipments saw their biggest decline since 2009, and many financial analysts say the cause of that severe decline is e-cigarettes. In 2012, Americans bought over 14 billion packs of tobacco cigarettes and 200,000 packs of e-cigarettes. The following year, sales of tobacco cigarettes decreased by 1 billion, and sales of e-cigarettes doubled. Wells Fargo estimates tobacco cigarette sales will decline by 68% over the next 10 years, and e-cigarette sales will increase more than 13 times. So naturally, California is panicking. The way they see it, e-cigarettes are taking money away from them, regardless of the fact that people are getting off tobacco cigarettes. So it's now California's mission to either A, ban e-cigarettes completely and get people back on tobacco cigarettes so the money starts rolling in again, or B, classify e-cigarettes as a tobacco product so they can tax them like they do tobacco cigarettes, higher than normal sales tax, and roll them into the MSA agreement so they too have to pay the states. One of their key arguments is that if e-cigarettes fall under the MSA and also have to make payments to the states, that money gives these states a powerful tool to stop e-cigarette makers from targeting youth. No wonder one of still-blowing-smoke.org's biggest and most unfounded talking points is that e-cigarettes are marketed to children, and never mind that only 14.6% of the funds the states receive from Big Tobacco actually go towards costs associated with smoking or smoking prevention. So the truth? The state of California needs tobacco sales to stay high, otherwise they default on their bonds. E-cigarettes are getting in the way of that. It looks like the health of the public isn't the top priority for the Department of Public Health. Their top priority? Their wallet.